Thank you so much, Sunanda ma'am.
Thank you.
It was very inspiring and very true. Many of the I remember as a principal, one of the science students, they think that when during the day the plants do not respire at all because they give out carbon dioxide. They don't respire at all. That's a concept being taken. If they are taken out and they are given a chance to know what it is, they know that it will be very young
Yes,
students.
yes,
I'm talking about third, fourth grade students. It was wonderful
yes,
to listen
yes.
to you. Now I open the floor for the questions. You can either put your questions for both the speakers. You can either put your questions on the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask the questions.
I'd like to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, like you just very rightly mentioned, my name is Nandita.
Hello.
And
Yeah.
yes, I happen to be senior faculty in Delhi Public School, Siliguri. Very rightly, you mentioned that can there be a change, especially by the policymakers? I think that is what is more important because what I find, especially in the present situation, with this cancellation of exam and then the marking scheme and everything. I think first and foremost, the policies have to change. Without that, we are again, kind of very in a very tight compartment. Because until and unless the changes are accepted on the top, you want to do something different, and then there is a hindrance. You want to take a step, like you said, take the children out so that real learning is, there. But when you take the children out, again, it's considered as something else, either a waste of time or, you're pointed at. So until and unless there are real policies that change from the top, those who are there in the department, if it doesn't change from there, it cannot flow down. So I don't know. I mean, it's just it's a query. Like, is it possible that there could be people there who really understand the true essence of education? It's not only about literacy or not only about getting degrees. It's the education from within. If those kind of people were there in the department, probably that would be a better way to bring about a change. Because I myself have found, when I want to do something different, immediately it's taken, how do you manage? We have syllabus to finish, we have so many classes to. So then again, that the whole thing spoils. So if the policy people, the people who are setting the policies, the change could be brought about there. I think that would perhaps, kind of lead to a start, if nothing else.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you? Yeah, you can respond to her.
Yes. Unfortunately, we want things to change at the top. Until things change at the top, we go on in the same way. Now, the thing is, I'm pretty sure that all of us can try to do things even at our own level. You see, what happens is that grades were meant to help teachers, to assess students, but grades have taken over completely. They everything right from the beginning to the end, it is the marks, 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 right? And as teachers, we need to de-link learning from marks. As teachers, once we know that learning is important, then we know we have to assess the students anyway, but we can do it in other ways. And people have tried that and they have succeeded.
Absolutely, like you said, it's marks, marks, marks. Even now, like today, the ISC results have come out, and a person who gets 92%, 93% is considered. I mean, that result is considered not so good, which is so alarming. When you have cutoffs like 99 and 100, I mean, where do the other children go? They might have other qualities in them. So, who's going to recognize that quality?
Yes.
It's very unfortunate. When there was a time when 90% was considered very good. Now 90 has become average. So is that the level of competition are we talking about, or is that really competition at all? That is again a big question.
Yeah. Is it possible? I'm just thinking aloud. Is it possible that in school we only concentrate on learning? Okay. And colleges maybe can have their own entrance exams or whatever. But in schools, we concentrate only on learning.
Can I come in at this point?
Yes, please, please, please.
So let me try and answer that policy question for you, Nandita. I've been part of FICCI Arise, and as part of FICCI Arise, we've been coordinating, liaisoning, advocating with both CBSE and the policymakers at the MHRD for all of these things that we're currently talking about. If you look at the NEP as it's designed today, there are so many best practices from not just international baccalaureate or Cambridge, but best practices of around the world. Now, I know that it's an implementation challenge before it comes to the, hits the road running for all of us. There's this time lag. Having said that, I just wanted to put in my thought on the fact that policymakers have actually thought very progressively, and the new we all know CBSE has gone through a sea change in the past 5 years.
Yes.
It's the way we are conducting school exams or even teaching today is almost 60% different from 10 years ago. However, we are still a mark-driven kind of at least in the board years. And for that, I'd like to kind of demarcate our learning teaching mechanisms or processes till grade 8 and 8 onwards. Till 8, I believe, and and as a school owner and leader myself, I believe that we have almost 100% flexibility to learn to teach the way we wish to. Till grade 8, just focus on learning. Focus on experiential learning. The question you're asking is, can I take my children out? If traveling was not such a teacher, then travel, there wouldn't be all kinds of quotes saying you learn the most when you're out there. So I think that more and more teacher owners, more and more school principals are understanding the flexibility we have in administering the curriculum till grade 8. So till 8, if we do things right, if we look at the pedagogical approaches for inquiry-based learning, for reflection, for hands-on, for experiential, all of that, if we packed into the children, then 9 to 12 can be slightly competitive. I mean, life is not fair. These kids are going to go out there in college and are going to have to compete. Until the system changes, really, I think I just want to park here that till 8th grade, we can do a lot of stuff if we want to as school leaders.
Yes.
Hopefully we get that freedom to actually do it, even in the upper level.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you're talking from DPS. I'm also talking from DPS.
Great.
We have a question in the chat box. That would you throw more light on the book read that you do with the leadership and teachers?
Right. I saw a lot of interest being generated about that. And let me tell you that over a period of time, we have been repeatedly doing book reading with the teachers. The first book we read is called Good to Great. And I recommend that of course we can all read and teachers are voracious readers, but what we do, and I'll tell you how we do the process. So, and then we read this one, John Cotter's Leading Change. So we have a group of, say, 25 people who are part of the book reading. And this is our principals and our vice principal, headmistress, that kind of cadre. Okay. We divided it into, the book had about 16 chapters. We divided it into 4 sessions. And in each session, we did 2-2. 8 sessions, my bad, and 2-2. So in each session, which was divided into 3 hours, we would take 2 chapters. And one person would read a chapter and ask questions. And it's not possible to read the full chapter. What we would do is, so suppose I'm doing chapter 1, I would highlight it. I would show videos supporting the thought process of chapter 1. I would, show processes within the organization that illustrate the learnings of chapter 1 and throw it open to question answer. So we did the book over 8 sessions, each session doing 2 chapters, and that's how we covered all 16 chapters. But this was mandatory learning for all our leadership And like I said, this is not only we encourage it. So we encourage the principal to do with his group, the headmistress to do with her group, the class rep to do with class 1 teachers. That's how we encourage a book review, book reading kind of sessions. And it is at the very top. I myself get engaged at book readings. So if that has explained how we do it.
May I add something?
Yes, thank
Hello, I'm Kulwant. And while I was the, principal in Delhi, so on Saturdays when we had PTM, it was different. But other days, an hour at least, I used to sit down with the teachers and we used to read. Because the teachers had to read. So we had that. We used to spend that time and nothing to do with the syllabus. You have to increase your own level. You will not do what you're going to teach the children. You have to. So that is what, and that made a lot of difference. And yes, and English speaking also, teachers, I made it compulsory. Teachers should speak in English, then English speaking happened in the school also. It was very easy to monitor like that. And all changes happened. I mean, the thing is, yes, implementation there was resistance from the teacher side in the beginning, initially, when they said, I don't understand the parents being, because we transferable job, we went, she says, you don't understand the parent. The parent will want tests. I said, you just listen and we are experts. We will tell the parents what is good for the children. You don't worry. You just understand this as the children. So things worked. We could bring in the change. Yeah. Policies are definitely very good.
Shanmuganathan sir, could you please ask your question?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. See, now, as Madam said, till 8th, we have our own freedom of doing it in a way what we want. No doubt in it. See, now we are busy with the tabulation of mark of 10th and 12th, which has a totally entire different scenario where the referential is taken into consideration. Those children are doing excellently well, but we made them to do other way around so that matches with that. So finally, till 8th one level, when they come to 9th and 10th, 12th level, again switch on to the board pattern. Now the new education policy really superb when it's how is going to be implemented. Definitely CBS is doing a very leading role. But these issues have to be, as Madam Sunanda Madam said, children of school is a happy place of learning, joyful learning, happy schooling. It's only in paper, and we made it. And we call it a life-oriented inquiry system, where no textbook, no homework, every lesson should made till the primary level. To the beginning, we had a tough time with the parent. Later on, it becomes successful. But again, till 8th, we do one thing. After 9th and 10th, switching on to the board pattern, how is it going to match, ma'am?
So I was in no way suggesting that we don't fulfill the curriculum or the syllabus. But really, 9th and 10th syllabus is board oriented, right?
Yeah.
Till 8th grade, if we did 85 or 90% of the syllabus, but paid more attention to concept learning, wouldn't it be better?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Wouldn't it be better?
Absolutely.
And then
Yes.
if the concepts are really strong, if the foundation is built well, in 9th grade, between the 9th and the 10th, that curriculum that is designed for the board exam, the child will pick up very well. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying don't do the curriculum. I'm saying let's not chase the curriculum. Let's chase concepts till 8th grade.
Yeah, that's what
and then change curriculum in 9th grade. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, ma'am. As now everybody, the conceptual learning is very better higher than content learning. That's the best one. But when you see this conceptual learning, really we might all see the tabulation of work. Literally yesterday we had such a tough time, balance, because we are the 50 years old. We are celebrating Golden Jubilee here, and the referential of the 10 years back should be considered with the present year. This technique only there should be again what all we say, but again going back to the system of marks and all these things. So unless until something, as Sunanda Madam said, it comes at, really it's going to help us a lot.
Yes, because may I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I agree that till age, till grade 8, we do have the freedom, and so maybe some schools follow this, some schools don't, because I have found that, even though we try to teach the concepts, we find that even some concepts are too difficult for grade 8 students to actually assimilate and understand.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we find that in 9th and 10th, suddenly there's a big shift, and there's it's a gear shift, and it's very difficult for students to actually suddenly find out what it is that they're preparing for and how they have to change themselves. So I feel that unless a change happens at the end of school, at that school leaving examination, nothing really will change.
Yeah, exactly, ma'am.
We'll have one more question. I think Dr. Satyavir Singh wants to say something. Please, sir, you unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, thanks to Manjula madam. You spoke very well regarding online classes and the work from home concept. The new concept came. So my question is related to this. How to rather keep student and teachers motivated when we open the school again? So can you just give some guideline on this, that how to keep student as well as the teachers in a motivation form, and then they both work together and the result comes in a nice way?
Ji, sir, the way I personally look at it is this, that, children are very excited about coming to school. I know that Abhi teachers have started coming to school, and the first thing the students are saying is show me the campus. And we're literally seeing teachers roaming around with laptops and phones showing children the campus. And children want to see the sports campus, they want to see the laboratories. But this is children's excitement. But the minute children come back to school, we'll have the same set of issues. You know it and I know it. Right?
Yeah.
Right? This whole newness will wear away and we'll have the same set of issues. But that is going to take another year and a half, a year at least. Now is this transition time. It is a 50% work from home time, which is going to be a little more challenging. You see, because we are going to be teaching 50% students in class and 50% students at home. So somehow first we have to gear up in technology such that we don't replicate our work. You see, so imagine that class 9, some grades are in, suppose class 9 is in school, we are teaching online, but class 10 is at home because we can only bring 50% capacity to school. That's how this is going to pan out. So we should be more concerned about this transition period of 50% work from home. So that is going to be a technology challenge. It will not be so much of an emotional challenge because you're still getting 3 days from home. But teachers will come back to school. So until school is going to start full time, you see, your buses are not going to fly. So teachers will not come by buses. They will come by self-transport. So you have to reimburse them. That is going to be one big problem. Because we can't ply buses when only 50% of the students are going to come. If you have transport in the schools, that is going to be a big problem to start. Because the commercial aspects of the buses are not going to work.
Yeah.
We have to revamp the entire bus routes. So technology, transport, these are the two big challenges that I'm seeing in this 50% transition work from home. And then next year, when everybody comes back to school, we'll go back to our old challenges again.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
May I say something? Yeah, just to last thing.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You see, I think the problem is in our minds. We keep saying that the problem is out there, but the problem is in our minds. When teachers teach, like even when I was a principal, I would tell them, don't stick only to the textbook. You have so many other things. But they feel insecure if they don't have a textbook with them. Parents feel insecure. If the teacher is convinced about not sticking to the textbook, the teacher can convince the parents. But we are so conditioned because this is the way we have been brought up. So I think there is a big thing to be said for teacher training. And right from the fundamental tenets of what learning means and what children need.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely
Ma'am,
right. Thank
I
you.
also feel that when we started with CC, continuous comprehensive evaluation, since the training was not given properly to the teachers, they felt it was so difficult and they have more of paperwork and it is
Yes,
not able
yes.
to. And before it could be adjusted, it was ramped up. So I
Yeah,
think
it
up to,
actually,
as you all said, up to 8th standard level, continuous comprehensive evaluation without any examination will bring the concept clarity to the children. That's what I hope will be
yeah,
better.
Ismail, I like to add upon this. It's all trustworthy system unless until each of us have the responsibility of doing this, making the children learning for their future, rather than competing with showing our mark. We are the number one, number two, all that. See, now I could see papers past 2 days since the board of state board 12th has come. They are putting our school is the first, second, third. Actually, no exams. They got the marks of last year and other thing, and adding that our school stood first. These are second rank. All this really it is so mean. I don't know what word to say. Since one school started putting, now everybody I can see
Yeah,
that
horrible, horrible.
no exam at all, but they are putting the marks and think why government is allowing this, why this newspaper is printing this, really, ma'am. So when you go sincerely, serious, making the children for the future, really missing out. That's what, unless until as a policy maker, bring now. What I used to do in my school is make use of this transition period for the personality development life skill, empathies, and all these values is right. And because now we are use our online class for that children also will be interesting, and we are using somewhat we are successful now. Only thing is again when the now yesterday we got the syllabus of 50% portion for the coming exam. Again slowly teacher mindset now how to finish, how to complete. There are children who are, as Madam said, Manjula, there are accessibility of technology is not available. We are in a remote part of Tamil Nadu. So all these issues are making it, ma'am. So unless until there is a policy decision as an NEP which has to be taken very seriously viewed, all our discussions put into action, definitely there is a good future, ma'am.
We can have some more questions. We have 10-15 minutes more. So if anyone wants to ask, we can take in 2-3 questions more.
Namaste. Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, sure, sure.
So I agree to the discussion which was happening that, even though we say that the system, focusing more on learning and not on marks and not on grades. But my concern is like when the students are going for future education, for further educations, they are being given the admissions or gauge on the basis of marks and grades. So even if we know as educators that marks and grades are not the only way to judge a child or his or her capability, but then and if I focus only on the concept learning and imparting skills to the children in my class, which I very much believe in, but for some reason if the child is not able to get the grades because though he has a lot of knowledge and understanding, he is not able to put on paper properly, right? And because of that he or she may not get the desired marks and grades. So even though the child is capable, may not get admission in the good college or good university and all. How this needs to be handled, I mean, how to help out this kind of children who really have good potential but they are maybe not good in expressing themselves.
May I respond to that?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Sure.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
You see, now I see a very encouraging trend, but it's very, very little. In many private universities, unfortunately, they are very expensive. So, there are very few of them. They don't really look at the marks. They interview the students, they look at their interests, they put them into, they have discussions, and I find that many students who haven't really done that well in the exams, but who have a lot of potential, get the subjects they have asked for at the college level.
Yeah. Psychometric test
Yes.
also will help, no, ma'am.
Yes, but like ma'am said, Smita Gandhi, the point is this whole link between the examination and colleges, that link has to be snapped. And somewhere I think if we can, have schools for learning and each college can have its own examination, I think it would be a good thing. And they don't
Yeah.
only look at the marks. They have their entrance exam, they have their interviews, they have other ways of, judging students.
Yeah,
Yes,
there are
ma'am.
colleges, ma'am, which marks are just a passport visa. Once they enter, they have their own way of testing and measuring the assessment of the children.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And I really agree to what you say completely. That happens, it will be kind of, a huge revolution in the lives of the children. But yes, as you said, there are some universities which are coming up with this wonderful concept of not judging them based on the marks. But then these are very rare universities,
Yes, yes.
and the majority of the children are still under that pressure because maybe
Yes,
they cannot
yes.
afford such costly universities,
Yes,
or maybe
yes.
their parents are not so aware, and there are so many
Yes,
the
of course.
socio-economic gap which is there in our India. Even that is kind of. Thank you, anyways, ma'am. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
you are right, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can ask the
Can I
question.
add? Can I add a few things on this line, madam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think CC with what intention it was brought, it was made as a failure because of no training, proper training was given to teachers. But as rightly mentioned here in the discussion, by the time we could explore the spirit of that, the guidelines were clear, but it was taken back. Probably that is one of the CC how they have started. It is better. It could be brought back again with proper training to teachers, so that NMAS, that culture itself, the entire assessment system itself will change. I'm not sure any what shape it's going to take. So as it's the things expressed there, probably the report card or whatever we say, it will contain all these components, the assessment of child from all perspective. So that I expect it to come back. Let us say if anybody knows on that line, whether it has taken, the report card has taken that shape at the school level, it is highly appreciable. That's what I feel.
I was told, sir, there is a 360-degree of measuring a child
360-degree
from.
evaluation, yeah.
Yeah, that's all there. Only you have to
Yes, ma'am.
see how it is.
I'm Runmi Bhave from Gurukul, Pune. I just would like to validate and add to what Manjula ma'am and Sunanda ma'am have been saying for Smita Gandhi ma'am. Basically, what we need to do and what we are doing and practicing right from playgroup till the 8th standard, if we help our children to learn the concepts and have a joy of learning to learn, then 9th and 10th, they will get into the formal structure and they will get the marks that they deserve as per their ability and as per their understanding of the subject that they are doing. Because whatever has been said so far by both the ma'ams, I think it is very, very essential for us as leaders to internalize it first, help our teachers to internalize it, because just teaching through textbooks will not help our children to learn or get the life skills also, or get the grades that we are looking at. And also as principals and leaders, we need to understand that we should not have a result oriented school.
Yeah, ma'am, yes.
If we want 100% result, that's not right. How can we ensure that all the children, because if we call ourselves as an integrated school and we have to look into that as well, then children from all spectrum have to do well, and we have to help each and every child to improve his or her competency level. That's what competency based level is. So if I'm here today, help me to get there. I may not get there, but if you instill confidence in me, then even if I'm at that level as compared to this level of another child, I will do wonders in my life. And also talking about what has happened about our mark system, I think it's not just in India, it's all across the globe.
Yes.
So everybody has faced this. It is not only our 10th standard children or 12th standard children who faced the wrath of all this moderation of marks. And what is the validity of these tests? So what the board had asked us to see into and look into what the children did in your respective school when they were in the 8th grade and the 9th grade, when they were physically with you prior to the pandemic. I think that made a lot of sense. And that was what was asked for us to, to give the rationale and then give the relevant marks. But if I have never participated in any event or done anything, the project-based learning that we have, if I have not done, then how can we rationalize their additional marks? So I think whatever has come through Mr. Maxim, McDonald and all, I think that is true. And the board, we've got more than 27,000 plus schools in India alone. And how can the board be responsible for everything? Ultimately, the buck stops at us, I think. And how to, I think Manjula ma'am has explained it very well, how to, and also Sunanda ma'am have told that how to be in touch and tune with our teachers. That is the bottom line. We cannot keep passing the buck to the colleges and all. Now we know it all. We really know it. What is our contribution? What are we going to do at the grassroots level? Because we are dealing with teachers, we are dealing with the preschoolers, we are dealing with the middle schoolers and also the senior children. That's what I wanted to add. And I'm so glad that we are on the track, because I don't believe in textbooks, and that is my struggle, because in my school, I tell the teachers, let the children do what they want to do. So even now on the online, when children want to learn about space, why should I teach something else? In second standard, when I was taking the class, the children wanted to learn about space and dinosaurs. I can teach my maths and science and English through that. Why do I have to stick to the Mulberry book or any other book? Or basically, I can teach everything from the home, my bedroom, my bathroom, my drawing room and my dining room and my kitchen. It's a big book which I can not get across anyway. So that's what we can do from home right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Only thing, keep our eyes there.
Yes.
We need to have an open mind to work on that. Yes.
Completely agree. Completely agree. We need that. We need that range of vision also. I completely agree.
May I add something to ma'am?
Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes.
Dr. Ravi. I'm former principal of Navodaya Vidyalaya and also retired regional director, National Institute of Open Schooling, Chennai. I enjoyed the discussion, and the concern also is being now really understood. Now we see a phenomenal change in the the school administration. We see a lot of the youngsters and the people from various fields, like the Manjula Pooja madam. Actually, she has migrated from the management, and now today she is looking at the education in a very, very a different level. Like, for example, very innovative, introducing that readers club, or the reading the stories or books by the teachers. These are all something very innovative things. You are all doing that. Let me add here, see, this board and all the syllabus, curriculum, whatever is it, it's a general framework. At one particular point of time, maybe for example, secondary and senior secondary level, we wanted that some certification has to be given because it's a very big country with a huge population of the student population, that they have to draw some line. But still we have a freedom. As already people have mentioned, till your 8th standard, you have a freedom. You can maneuver with any type of things now. Why all of a sudden people are all thinking that now I have to shift to this examination-oriented mechanism? It's because you are all rather not aware of that our own Indian board, which is there, the National Institute of Open Schooling. See, I had almost 26 years I was there in CBSE, then about 8 years that I seen that. This is a wonderful, see, it's a national curriculum, same NCF, 2005 has designed, every board has to follow the NCF. So similarly, they have done it. So what the message here for this, all the aspiring edu leaders over here, you can run the school as you like. See, you design it, and there are in each and every class we have about 10 to 15% of the students are the forerunners. They are brilliant students, and they have to be catered. And as educationists, we also understand there are different, multiple intelligence part of it. The children have to be nurtured in that formative years. So as someone was telling here, now these certificates are just only a kind of, the passport or some sort of evidence that you need to produce at one particular level to enter into universities. But now the talents are the very, very important things. So private schools are really, capable of doing it. There are schools are doing it, and we should set a model. So in case if I know I don't want to name the schools. Some of the schools are really adopting it, and what they have done it parallelly along with the CBSE school. They are training the children with a lot of freedom, and the parent and the child takes a decision. Yes, I will this time go for a certification under this NIOS, or you can even go for any international board, anything. See, that's the way because we can't keep on blaming the system or this is what that's why it's happening. We do have a system that we have to adopt it now. So a lot of research has to be done now. It's in the hands of the educators, please. So that's what I thought I should record here, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very true, sir. Thank you so much. And is there anyone who wants to ask a question? One more last question we can have. Anybody else? Manjula ma'am, if you want to say something.
No, I just wanted to thank Mr. Ravi. He brought in a very, very good element. Because we have used NIS very, very effectively for two category of students. One is we run a special education school. We have dyslexic students. We have ADHD students. As you know, these children have a lot of variety of IQs, and they cannot go through the rigor of CBSE. So we have, taught them concepts and then had them go to NIOS. The second category of students that we have had to go to NIOS are the students who are dropouts of 8th grade. So we put them in skill schools, but because they need to, at age 16, they need to have a school certification. We have had them take distance learning classes and go through NIOS. NIOS in our country is a very, very good, alternative to traditional, contemporary, rigorous learning that CBSE and state boards offer. But unfortunately, the reason, if I may add, the real reason why it hasn't taken off the way it should have taken off, because both CBSE or state and NIOS have been rooted in NCF, like Mr. Ravi rightly pointed out. So if the concept is the same, if the foundation is the same, and this is something which provides the freedom, then why hasn't it taken off? To my mind, and I always say this, this is a colonial mindset. The British have just ingrained us so much that we need mark sheets. We need that paper, and we need to say that, if it is hard, it is good. Why are we talking about marks? Who sets the question paper? It is our teachers. Our teachers set the question papers as if they're testing the students for what they don't know, rather than what they know. Then everybody will get 100 on 100. If we set the question papers for what our students know, everybody will get 100 on 100. But why do children fail? Because when we set the paper, I don't know what we are measuring. And NIOS is such a wonderful program, but it did not take off. In this country, it's not aspirational to do NIOS. Even if you have a special learning child, even if you have a dyslexic child, parent wants the child to do CBSE and not NIOS. That is the state of the country, unfortunately.
May I add this
So
to
we actually need awareness and education for the parents as well, because not only in this, there are so many things that parents are actually conditioning their children. So it's like you have to this after this after this. It's like the child.
One thing I would like to add here. One is that yes, that is what we do. We set the paper. It should be so hard that we want to find out what the child does not know. That is one thing that we go wrong. Second thing, I feel somewhere the schools with big names, just so that the percentage of the good children does not,
Yeah,
remain
exactly, ma'am.
fall.
You are
They put them in
100% right.
NOIs. Now that is my issue. We do not believe in holistic education. We put those children in NOIs who will spoil our results. Now that is my concern. That is, I feel.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Madam,
you are
I
right.
want to add
Yes,
this.
ma'am, exactly.
Sir, see,
And I think we are running out of time.
yes.
Sir, you can make it very brief.
Yeah, yes, madam. See, in fact, when I joined in NIOS, this was the image that was given, that it's only meant for the children who are not performing well or the children with the learning issue. So to break the trend, I had advocated in such a way that there are many toppers, that especially in the 2019 batch, all India level two, JE advanced ranking 26th rank, is Arjun Bharat. He has just completed in
Absolutely.
IIAS. So many students have started following it. Now it's like a national highways. Anybody who can go on the speed lane, he can go at his own pace. And the children who are having some learning issue want to study in the convenient way. The flexibility provides them to go on the left lane or the low speed lane. So this has to be brought to the people, and it's a
Absolutely.
truly inclusive board, irrespective of their capacity they accept. And as Manjula madam was mentioning, that it's children with certain learning issues, they take it because they make use of the flexibility to learn at their own style and write the examination in the split form. Maybe in 2-3 slots they will write it and all that. But the children who are having a very high, high IQ, and their level of speed is very good, means definitely they should go. And in fact, they are all misfit in the regular classroom because
Absolutely.
they
Yeah.
cannot actually, teachers cannot cope up with them. I should say other way around, not the students. Teachers cannot cope up with them.
I
So
agree so much.
I completely
Absolutely.
second that.
Absolutely.
Second that, yes.
Very truly
Absolutely.
said, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Very good.
And with this last questions, we come to the conclusion. Thank you, my fellow esteemed speakers, for joining us today for an enlightening session. I hope the audience are walking out with insightful takeaways from today's session. We look forward to seeing you all tomorrow again at 5 p.m. with another set of guest speakers. Till then, have a wonderful evening and a wonderful Saturday night. Thank you all. Thank you so much.